Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In case this is the first time that you're seeing my face on your screen, hi, my name is Olipa Katongo Kunda. So I have been a little MIA, but it's all for good reason. And today I want to talk to you about something that I actually promised to tell you about like 2 years ago, but I haven't had the time to actually sit down and talk about it. So let's get right into it. So let's start from about 2 years ago when I graduated from UNZA with my master's degree, which was a master's in business administration. And I did a nice sit down video where we talked about what that journey was like for me. I had questions about like, what's my next step? What do I want to do now? Especially that I've gotten this particular qualification. How am I going to use it for myself? In the past year, I have been transitioning into being a full-time entrepreneur. And that is what I want to talk to you guys about today. So I'm not going to talk about entrepreneurship in itself because I'm still a baby in entrepreneurship. Like I'm a baby. There's nothing that I know. I still need to experience, I still need to learn. So I won't talk about that, but I think today I want to share what the transition has been like, moving from being a corporate girly, moving from really enjoying the corporate world actually, and becoming a full-time entrepreneur. I don't even know where to start. Like, I don't know where to start this conversation from, but I have always had the entrepreneurship gene in me. I've always been a business lady. I've always been a business girly. One talent, skill, and really God-gifted skill that I have, which I think I never even recognized that this was a God-gifted talent or a God-gifted skill, is the ability to make and multiply money. I am graced with the ability to make and multiply money. I'm able to make money out of nothing, and it's easy for me to multiply small amounts of money and grow them. So it was always very exciting for me to do business, but I never had the vision or envisionment of me actually being a full-time business person. It was never in the cards for me, to be honest. I always knew that I'll have a business. I'll do something, but I never ever thought I'd get to a place where that is my career. Like that is what I do. I work for myself every day, all day, right? So the background that I come from, my mother was in full-time employment all her life, retired, but she was always doing something. She's still always doing something. And maybe I got that from her as well. She's always, selling something, always buying something, always making something, always. And my father, who was in formal employment for some time, but most of my life was a business person. So my father is the one who went into a little bit like more full-time with entrepreneurship, having an actual company and, things like that. So for me, I think I started to realize that I don't really want to continue being a corporate girly around, 2-3 years ago? Somewhere there, like maybe 3 years ago. The corporate scene became too toxic for me. And so at this point, I think I'm like pursuing my master's degree. So how did I come about studying business administration? I'm not sure. I probably have actually, because I talk about everything. I have talked about what I wanted to do for my master's on this platform. That video must be like way back. I don't even know if I could find it. But I always knew, or I always planned that when I do my master's degree, I'm going to do something in corporate communication, or strategic communication. That is what I wanted to master in, because I knew that that was my path. I knew that I loved working in corporate communication. I loved working in strategic communication. I loved working in public relations because lucky me, as multi-talented as I am, speaking, oration, presentation, writing are also some of my God-given skills. Like personality is one of my God-given skills. And it's something I really, really, really enjoy doing. So I always knew that, or I always thought I knew that that is the path I'm going to take and I will continue with it. So when I decided, I think I'm ready, let me start doing my master's degree, I promise you, it was not automatic that I did business. I actually started with what I wanted to study. I went ahead and looked for institutions where I was going to do the communications. And obviously, UNZA was one of them because they have a master's in communications. And I said, well, why not? But something kept on pulling me away from that. I don't know what it is, but something kept on pulling me away from mastering in anything to do with communications. So then I thought, why not go the business route? So I have the communications degree, I have the skill, I am gaining experience and expertise as I continue to work. Then I can also do a business degree so that I can have the business aspect of things. And that just made perfect sense. It made perfect sense. So I go ahead and I start studying for my master's degree. So somewhere towards the end or in the midst of my master's degree, I quit the job that I was doing at that time. So I quit the job that I'm doing and I just focus on my master's, and all things are are working out for the good of those who love the Lord though. So I just continue focusing on my schoolwork. I graduate and we'll all celebrate, whoop diddy doo, right? And so afterwards I'm like, okay, so I'm done with this, I've graduated, I need to get back into the workforce. Now, tell me why I had the worst anxiety of my life. Every time I thought about going back to work, the anxiety. There are certain job applications that I would look at, like an ad for a job, and I knew that if I applied to this job, I'm going to get it, right? I'm so certain that if I apply to this job, I'm going to get it. And I was not applying to those jobs. I could not apply to the jobs that I knew for a fact I was going to get, which is very self-sabotaging because at this point, I haven't accepted yet that I am not really ready to go back into the workforce. I think there's just something about the fact that we are raised to want to work. We are raised to need to work because, like, how are you surviving in life without a job? You're not doing anything. Like, where's your income coming from? So I know in my mind automatically that I need to work. I need to make money. I need to find a source of income, right? But at the same time, a part of me knows that I can't do this. I can't do this. I don't know what else I can do. So it was very self-sabotaging in the sense that I'm not applying for the jobs I know I can get. But when I apply for the ones I don't qualify for, or like I'm underqualified, some even overqualified, and I don't get them, then I complain. Then I complain and say, oh my God, finding jobs is so hard. Nobody's employing. But I mean, finding jobs is hard and nobody is employing, right? So at this point in time, I'm like, oh, well, whilst I wait for me to find this corporate job, let me get back into business. I want to start something else that I'm actually passionate about, something else that I'm interested in, something else that I actually love. This time, I challenged myself to actually put in place systems for the business, especially from things that I learned in my MBA. I was like, let me apply some of the principles that I learned. Let me use some of the books that I learned for this particular business. And it was important to me to do something that I was passionate about, something that I actually genuinely enjoyed doing. But this time, I want to do it as if it were a big corporation. I want to run this business as if it was something that I was growing to become a big corporation, something that will eventually sustain itself, put systems in place that this business should be able to run itself, even if I'm not there, or even if it's passed on to another person, it can continue to run. So that was a challenge that I had to myself. And of course, I had to think about what would that particular thing be that I would be interested enough to grow and to run in that nature. And so I got into, I guess we'd say, the beauty industry. Yeah, so I got into the beauty industry and skincare because I have always actually loved skincare. I think you guys know that. I've always loved skincare. So I decided to get into the skincare business. And honestly, even just for myself, I love to take care of my skin. I have very difficult skin. I think I've said that so many times. I have very difficult skin. So I have to be intentional in making sure that I take care of what I look like. So I was like, okay, let me use that passion, let me use that interest to help other people as well. So then I went into this journey of sourcing. Where am I going to get the best quality skincare products, but at a good price that will allow me to penetrate the market and, offer these products at a very good price? So I went into that process of sourcing. I found the source, right? Problem number 2 comes around. I don't have capital. But at this point, I'm still looking for a job, right? But I have started working on this business that I've said I wanted to grow. I don't have capital. I've found the source where the products will come from. And I have bought products myself. I have sampled, I have tested. I love them. But now I don't have capital for me to come and to order those things and come and sell them to people here. What do? I said, let me use my personality. Oh, let me use my personality. I think the first 4 months of the business, I was depending wholly on pre-orders because I was needing people to pay for those products in advance for me to actually order them. After 4 months, I get into problem number 3, which was the biggest, I think to date is the biggest hurdle I experienced in this transition, where, okay, people have ordered, but something goes wrong in the supply chain and there is extreme delay that I can't explain, delay that I can't give my customers answers to. Suppliers are not giving me answers and I'm stuck and I'm flustered and I'm frustrated and everything is wrong. That was such a rough time for me. And at that point, I actually thought, I'm not doing this again. I'm giving up. I'm going to focus on looking for a job. I'm going now full time looking for a job. That's going to be my job, right? But then eventually everything seems to iron out and I say, I got this. I got this. I can do this. So everything irons out. And that was the last time that I did pre-orders. So now I am a year, I'm not exactly sure, but I am a year plus, I think, into my business. And it has been a very interesting journey. And I think it's still getting interesting. I really do believe it's still getting interesting. Because like I said from the beginning, I am a baby in terms of business. Like there's nothing I've experienced yet. I've not experienced anything. But the transition from being a full-time corporate girly to being a full-time entrepreneur has been extremely scary for me. It has been scary because the society we live in does not encourage that. I have not grown up in a world where it's encouraged for you to be a full-time entrepreneur. Yes, my parents would allow me to do businesses. They want me to have businesses, but they always wanted me to have a corporate job. And I guess it came from the fact that they did businesses as well and they know the problems that are faced in business and they just didn't want me to experience that. So you can only imagine how difficult it was when I'm trying to explain that I don't think I want to apply anymore. I want to focus on what I'm doing. And your parents are like, so you went to school so that you can not work. You're lazy. You don't want to work. But like also the self-doubt, there's a lot of self-doubt. I think I still experience that. There are a lot of nights where I don't sleep because I don't know if what I'm doing is the right thing. I don't know if how I'm running the business is the right way. I don't know if it's eventually going to pay off or not. I don't know if like I have all this doubt. Am I really going to be able to grow it? Yes, I've grown into this point. I can see the percentage of how much it has grown from where it started. Considering that I started with nothing. Remember that. Considering that I started with nothing. So I can see that it has grown this much, but like, can I sustain it? How long will I be able to cope with this? So it has been a whole lot. And I just want to say to those of you out there who are thinking of transitioning, I know like you hear so many things about don't quit your job before your business is established. Don't quit your job before you have something else to do. And to be honest, I agree. Don't quit your job before your business is established. Don't quit your job before you know what your next step is, but do what is right for you. Sometimes you quitting that job is what is going to push you to open that business, is what is going to push you to start that empire. But also when you are doing your business, no matter what business it is, no matter how small, even if you are going to be a trader, if you are going to be selling tomatoes, always think about it in the future. What do you want this to become? Build empires. Think about it generationally. Always think about it generationally, and it will scare you. But that is one of the things that keeps me going. It's the fact that my business and the vision I have for it scares me, but I know it scares me because it's a vision for my future, for my children, for my grandchildren. How are they going to feed into this? It's high time we create generational wealth. And I want to play my part in creating that generational wealth for my children and my great-grandchildren. So I would say that if you are wanting to transition from being a full-time employee to whether it's, let's just say, self-employed or an employer, pray. Number one, here are my key points as I close off this video. Pray, you guys. Pray. When you are having those moments of self doubt, pray. When you are having those moments where you are crying because you think you're making a mistake, pray. When you can't see where it's going, you can't see the vision, pray. When people are telling you you're wasting your education, pray. When people are telling you you don't even know what you want, you are lazy, you don't want to work, pray. When people are feeding doubt into your brain, pray. Even when it gets good, pray. When you see your first 100 kwacha profits, pray over it. When you see your loss, pray over it. Cry to God. Let Him open up your mind. And when your mind is open, be open, like really be open. One thing that I have done in my business is I have researched on other similar businesses that I want to be like. So I follow these businesses very closely to see what they do and how they do things. What can I pick from this? What has made them so successful? Do that. Get into those spaces, meet those people, learn how they do things and why they do things the way that they do things. And then you'll be able to move forward from there. Anyway, I've lost my train of thought because my sister disturbed me. She's a disturber. But I really think you've gotten the gist of things. If at all you have any questions that you want to ask me, you can go ahead and drop them in the comment section and I will do my best to answer those particular questions. Thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up and I will see you in the next one. Bye.